Shalom, shalom. How y'all doing? Blessed, I hope. A long time no hear from. I want to go into why do the wicked seem to always prosper? I know a lot of us wonder that and ask that question. And I was meditating on it the other day, and I really got to thinking about it. Because you see all these rich people on TV, all these the rich, they're basically starting to turn on each other now. Everybody ratting each other out and exalting themselves over one another. So even though they got it, it's turning into a debacle. It's turning into a foolish, it's a foolish display, a display in futility. It's nothing. It's a sad life. You would think that the rich would be a little bit more tactful than they are, but like I said, I meditated on it. I was just thinking about it. I was riding across some state, I forgot, and I just really got to thinking about it, and it came to me that the majority of rich people, you got a very small, out of 1 million, you might have 100. You might have 100 that's doing the will of the Most High with it. Out of 1 million millionaires, you probably got maybe 100. But what came to me in a revelation was I got that I received is for their destruction. It's actually for their destruction. You got the wealthy that have come on this earth, the Bill Gates, the Henry Fords, the Rockefellers, the people that have been filthy rich, but they've also been very, very wicked. And Hiltons, just the rich people. You think about it, just name it. These people have come up, or he has allowed these people, even these fake Jews, they're very, very rich. It's for their destruction. It's basically so they won't turn to him. Believe it or not, it's so they won't turn to him. So he can basically curse their whole lineage. Their whole bloodline will be cursed and damned to hell. So you got that the wealth, what we call that, generational wealth that's been being left. So the grandchildren get it, but what they don't do is turn to him. But you will notice every now and then one will turn to the Most High, and this one here just seems, these are the ones that we look at with all that money. We like, why would you live like that? Because they forsake the money. And they just live plainly. They just basically live a pauper's life. Basically just pretty much denounce it and just go a totally different route. Now, us on the outside looking in, we always look and say, man, this dude is crazy. If I had that kind of money, I'd do that. Or if I was part of that family, or if I had action at this, or had action at that, I would be doing this and be doing that. But this is the... they're the black sheep, or they're that needle in the haystack. They that one that come into that wealthy generation, and just basically they have morals and they have integrities, and it's every now and then one slide through the cracks. But for the most part, the wealthy, they are basically finna be condemned. Not only them, but their children, their grandchildren, all the ones that come, and we look at them like they're living good. That's not the case. It's for their destruction. It's to basically condemn and damn their whole lineage. Their whole lineage. Now, prove it. Let's go to Mark 4:18-19 first. And it said, And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches. The deceitfulness of riches. You got to remember that. Hold on to that. The deceitfulness of riches. So why did he call riches deceitful? He called riches deceitful because they make one think that they're a God. Do you ever notice that when people get rich, they automatically become gurus in their mind? And, you know, the little man, the poor man, are the ones that's looking up, the ones that want to be rich or covet their riches. Well, they listen to them. They listen to them because they're rich, because they want. They don't really respect these people per se, but they respect their position in life. That's all they respect. That's all they're respecting. That's all they're respecting. That's why when a rich man go down, or when a rich man start going bad, R. Kelly, for instance, soon as he start going bad, everybody turned on him. Everybody turned on him as soon as it started going bad for him. Bill Cosby, it started going bad for him because the poor man, the man outside looking in, he really wants his riches. He really, that's all he really wants. That's all we do when we want riches. We're coveting. Just keep it real. We're covetous at that point. But it says, and the cares and the deceitfulness for riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. So they're basically good for nothing. And then the most of them, like the TD Jakes, the ones that claim to be Christians, maybe the football players, the basketball players that go to TD Jakes churches or go to a Christian church. These Christian churches are actually Baal worshipers. Baal worshipers. If you do the research on Baal worship, they had switch hitters. They had switch hitters running the church. You know what I mean? You know, them bottoms up. Them switch hitters. They had them running the church. It was all about prosperity, and it was all about fornication and adultery, and basically how do you say that word? Licentiousness. Licentiousness would be loose sex. It was all about sex, sexuality. So that's all the modern day church is. So they basically Baal worshipers. And Christian, the term Christian came before the Messiah. That came before the Messiah when they worship Serapis. I think that was the guy's name. That was before the Messiah, Serapis. So it said Christian. The term Christian came out way before then, and it's always been a pagan term. So when you look at the church, if you research Baal worship, what the church is doing right now is exactly what Baal worship, exactly to the T, pretty much to the T. So the Most High is not in it. It is a false god. Also, they believe the Messiah is God, which is idolatry, because he's not God. Moses, the prophecy, when Moses prophesied about a prophet that would come like him, that we're supposed to listen to, he was talking about, so he said he was like him. So Moses wasn't a god. The Messiah is not God. The Messiah is not God. He ascended on high, sat on the right hand of the Father. So you're telling me the Father ascended on high and sat on the right hand of himself? Now, it's tomfoolery. Now, to prove my point about how mankind looks at the rich, just because they have money, they're just coveting what they have. That's all. Because this is the society that we're in. We're in a covetous, greed society. That's what we are. But this Ecclesiastic, or Sirach 13:23. When a rich man speaks, every man holds his tongue, meaning they be quiet, and they listen to him. And look what he says. They extol it to the clouds. So it's saying when a rich man talk, everybody listen to him, and it's like, oh yeah, that's it, you know, that's the law right there, what he said, and only because he's got money. That's the only reason. Which to the Most High is foolishness. Don't mean nothing to the Most High. You know what I mean? That's only the condemned, the game goofy, the sleep sheep, fools and suckers go by what the rich say, what the government say, what another man say that's not speaking the word of the Most High, not speaking the word of the highest, or Yahshua. Only they pretty much the condemned, pretty much the ones that's on the broad road. They're gonna be destroyed. So that's just what it is. There's only gonna be a few make it. So we need, like I always say, we need to come to grips with that. And that helps too to not get overwhelmed or not get not be so worried about being accepted or fitting in. Just understand that they're going to be destroyed. They're going to go, because they're on the broad road. But it says, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. So that's why, just like I said about R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, pretty much they went down. They lost their what would you call that? They lost their they lost their place in society, their recognition in society, especially art. And look what people started doing. They started everybody just started knocking him down. Everybody just started throwing him down and started talking bad about him and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying the man that wasn't guilty. I'm not saying he is guilty or not guilty. Ain't got nothing to do with me. He not serving the Most High. He not walking in these scriptures. Well, he's condemned, just like anybody that might come across this video that's doubting what I'm saying or what have you. Well, you're in trouble. They're in trouble. So, you know what I mean, they're not to be taken seriously. They're to be taken with a grain of salt and to be fed with a long-handled spoon. You know what I mean? They got that bad frequency on them, so they're to be kept at a distance anyway. So, you know, that is what it is with them. But they say, but if the poor man speak, they will say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. So that's how they do the poor. So the one ain't got it, you know what I mean? It's like somebody on here that's got a whole bunch of members, a whole bunch of views or whatever. You know, he would thought, you know, be supposedly better than me or what have you. Even though I know I got knowledge and I got knowledge, insight, and understanding that'll knock a giant down. I already know that. But I'm not doing it for clout. I'm doing it to that the one or two or the ones that might come across this and need to get this information, to give them a better understanding. Because the elect, we gonna slide out. We gonna slide out without notice. We gonna slide out like when they was trying to in the book of Luke, when they was when Yahshua went into the synagogue and he rebuked the people and read out of the book of Isaiah, and I believe it is the book of Isaiah, and they wanted to throw him down the hill and he just slid through them. That's how we gonna get away. We just gonna slide. We just gonna slide through the condemned. We gonna slide around the condemned, and it's only gonna be a few of us. So you know, you know, like the scriptures say, heaven rejoices over one saved more than 99 saved. So I'm just looking for that. The one or two or that few that need this information, just so they can fatten they knowledge wallets, they understanding wallets. That's all. That's why I do it. Matthew 19:24 says, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Father. So it's hard. It's hard. It's hard because, like I said, they get the meathead, they get the fat head, and they really begin to think that they're these wonderful people, when actually they're not. They're really nothing. They're really nothing in the sight of the Most High. He can care less about them because they're not serving Him according to how the scriptures are written. They're following Him according to their understanding, or according to religion, or according to popular opinion, according to the condemned, pretty much, whether it be the government, whether it be the judicial system, whatever. These are Satanists. They're done. They're done. Now I want to read Psalm 73, 1 to 20. Because King David just couldn't understand. He's like, man, what's going on? It says, it says a Psalm of Asaph, but Psalms. So we really never know who wrote them. So I attribute all Psalms to King David, because wouldn't nobody know how to write a Psalm if it wasn't for King David. And one, truly, Yasha, and just an overview. I use Yasha. I don't like using God, Lord, Jehovah, all that. I know all that's fake. So I use Yasha. Father and the Son are one. He came in His Father's name. I just like to say that. Truly, Yasha is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had almost slipped. For I was envious at the foolish, when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So he was saying that they're not in trouble like everybody else. Even though now, just like scripture say, pride comes before a fall. So because of the increase of pride, we're seeing a lot of people. We're seeing a lot of these rich, and we're going to see a lot of rich people fall off their perch. A lot. We're starting to see a lot right now. The Most High is starting to move because His grace is not on this country no more. So all that being an upstanding citizen and all that, scratch all that. Scratch all that. He's you better do this because you this and you want to please God. His hand is he tells us to repay her double. So we basically can do what we want right now, and within long as it doesn't offend the Most High. As far as having so-called integrity to respect this country, we don't have to do that no more. We don't have to do that no more, and I'll stand on that. The Most High is not in this place. He is not here. He is not here. This place is done. This place is done. So I encourage my brothers and sisters, start feeding, start eating, and you pray on what that means to you. You pray according to your understanding, but you better start feeding. Like when the Israelites went and brought things from the Egyptians, gold, and then took off with them. That's what we at right now. You better start feeding. 6. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covers them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart can desire. So you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. You try to tell them about the Most High. This is foolishness to them. This is foolishness to them, and we stupid in their eyes. 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. So pretty much they're for oppression. That's why they speak wickedly about oppression, meaning, you know what I mean, they look down on the poor. That's what they get, or we ought to just take them all somewhere and just kill them off. They're just good for nothing. So that's how they talk. But like I said, the Most High favor is not on these people. You never really hear one going out peacefully. I never really, you know, I'm trying to go through my mental Rolodex right now and think, have I ever heard about a rich man going out peacefully? And I haven't. I haven't heard about nobody rich just going out peacefully. I haven't. They speak loftily. Number 9. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walks through the earth. So they talk against the Most High, and they tongue. So basically, they swallow spit and talk ish. That's all they do. Swallow spit and talk ish. You know what I'm talking about? SHIT. That's all they do. That's all they do. They talk and they speak with a lot of pride because they think they're God. They think they're favored. They really think the Most High love them, but their God is of this earth. The God that offered Yahshua everything that the world had to offer if he would bow down and worship him, and he refused to do so and threw that word on him. I should get behind me, Satan. I shall worship the Most High, the Father, the highest, and him only shall I serve. Period. So he wasn't bound down to him. And it says, therefore his people return here, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. Few interpretations on this verse. I tried to look into it, but the first one hit my spirit was, therefore his people return here. Meaning generational, like I was saying in the beginning, generational wealth. His people come and basically live the life that he lived, and they become just like him. So they deny the Most High, or either serve the Most High in wickedness, or according to their understanding, but not according to knowledge. And it said, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them, meaning they basically fill their cup up with iniquity, because the Bible speaks about a cup of iniquity. So their cup fills up just like, and it goes from generation to generation to generation to generation. So it's a lot of them in torment right now. There's a lot of them being tormented right now. They're the ones that have died. The ones that are living are filling their cup up to be tormented. And the Most High does this on purpose. He makes them believe, because they have reprobate minds. They're reprobate. The rich, the older I get, the more I start to understand this, how we have missed the bullet. Because a lot of us, especially the chosen, a lot of us are way more superior to these people. We have more knowledge, we have more insight, we have more understanding, and we have more, we're more father-like. You know, we have more traits of the Father. We love people more. We do more for people. We have more empathy. We love people. We love people. These people don't. So, it's like, shouldn't we have that? But we missed that bullet because it would corrupt us. It would corrupt us because of the things because of the devices and the things that are in the world and the things that are allowed to the rich. So those things would have been a stumbling block to us. And had us, because the Most Highest people, the poor, we go through a lot here, so we don't have to go through it when it's time to go, and when it's time to die, on the other side, because we're gonna spend more time over there than we are here. So, you got people that have enjoyed riches for 80 years, 50, 80, 30, whatever, maybe 100 years. They've enjoyed their riches, but they didn't do it the most. They wasn't pleasing to the Most High. So on the other side, right now, they're being tormented. They're being tormented right now because they got their reward already. Now, we go through a lot because we steady being chastised, because he don't want to punish us on the other side. He doesn't want to punish us on the other side. I'm going to do a little thing on here, too, to show what happens after death. It was a prophet, Esdras, asked what happened after death. And he gave a scenario. The Most High told him what happened to the death for the righteous, and he told him what happened to the after death for the wicked. So what we go through here is so we don't get punished on the other side, because nobody's without sin. We all deserve horrible deaths, horrible torments. So us that's poor, or those that's poor, or those that are barely making ends meet, or what have you, it's for a reason. It's for a purpose. It's for us to keep our mind. He wants us to constantly keep our mind stayed on him, constantly in righteousness and truth, not according to a religion and not according to our own understanding. So we got to understand this, and this is where faith comes in. This is where faith comes in, because you can believe it or not, but this is where faith comes in. He doesn't want us to be tormented after death, because there is a torment after death. There's a rest and there's a torment. You don't a wicked person don't just die and rest. He don't get no rest. He take his feelings, his emotions, he take all that with him. That light at the end of the tunnel is the Most High. That's that light at the end of the tunnel. And then get this, when science has even proved this, the minute the sperm goes into the egg, it's a burst of light. Research it, Google it, what have you. It's a burst of light. That's a part of the Most High. That light, that's the life of the Most High. That's that breath of the Most High. And that goes back to the Father at death. That goes back to the Father. So we don't die. We sleep. We sleep or either, some die. Let's put it like that. The righteous sleep. We don't die. We just go to sleep. But yeah, the wicked, yeah, they die. They die, they torment, and then they go through the second death, which is the lake of fire, where they're just tormented constantly. Just think of the worst pain, your worst feeling. Just put all that together with all experiences that you've ever had, times an innumerable number. Times that with an innumerable number. And this is the torment that people are going to go through on the other side. 11. And they say, how does Yahshua know? And is there knowledge in the highest? So they question the Most High, they question the highest, they question Yahshua. So that's why when you're talking to them, it's like you casting your pearl before swine when you're talking to them. It's, what I mean? It said, and that's when we rely on the scripture. It said, heretic after the third admonition, reject. So we don't keep going on and on and on and on with people that's mocking you or that's talking smart to you. Let them get what they got coming. Let them get what they got coming. Let them get what they got coming. 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. And this King David was saying, he said, verily, and I've said this a lot, man, this is not in this walk. This is like, it's like a waste of my time. Well, you know, what's the use of just trying to be right all the time and I got to keep going through this crap? Hey, if anybody out there with me, you're not by yourself. If anybody else has said that, you're not by yourself. I've said it often. And I've said it in recent days because it's just getting so tiring. This is getting so tiring just trying to do right. Trying to be a solid person in this crooked world. It's really becoming unbearable. But we have to bear it. Like I say, the torment on the other side is just, you can't put a degree on it. You can't put a degree on it. He said, verily I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning, meaning, man, I go through it on a daily basis. It's like I'm always just like, remember I wrote in the song, just when you think you're safe and sound, here comes some more ish to weigh you down. Just when you're safe and when you think you're safe and sound, here comes some more crap to weigh you down. I put that in one of my songs because that's just, and I put that in my song before I even came to the truth. Because it's like this has been the story of my life. Just all the time, just trying to keep it solid, and then all the time you just dealing with a joker. It's like, man, it's like it just gets nerve-wracking, just gets tiring. And then he said, 17, until I went into the sanctuary of Yahshua, then understood I their end. So in some versions say, until I went into the temple of Yahshua, into the temple, because that's what happened to me. I went into deep meditation on it. I went into a deep meditation on it because I couldn't figure it out. Just the other day. It's like I need an answer. I really need an answer. I need a resolve. I need a resolve so I can think straight, so I can quit. But I don't like to keep thinking about things that will have me fall out with the Most High, or had a Most High fall out with me. Excuse me. You know what I mean? I don't like pondering on the thing. I like to practice taking him at his word, and just moving on. And because the enemy will keep coming back at you, be like, man, just go ahead. Cause I've been a lot of things in this world. I've been a hustler all my life. I done did things that I don't even want to speak about. You know, to get money. You know what I mean? To get paid and to keep on going. When I was in the kingdom of darkness. So the devil, of course, he gonna always be trying to push me back towards that, and I don't want it. I don't want to go there. Because it's not pleasing in the sight of the Most High, so I can't do those things no more. So now we have those that have come out of that world. We have we have a job. We have a job in front of us to stay the course and keep our integrity. Because when you've bitten of that tree of good and evil. Well, now you got certain knowledges, so it's easy to slide back into that mess. But it says, until I went into the sanctuary, into the temple, then I understood their end. And this part here is going to go with the first part of what I was saying. It's to condemn them. It allows people to get the desires of their heart on the left-hand side so he can condemn them. He says, surely you have set them in slippery places. You casted them down into destruction. So it's a setup. It's a straight setup. It's a setup. Because in the beginning, when all the tribes was together, all the 12 tribes, each tribe had a specialty. So we didn't need nobody for nothing, and we didn't need their stinking money. We didn't need money. We didn't need finances, because we worked on the bartering system, whether it was to get a house built, whether it was to get food, whatever. We dealt amongst the tribes. Each tribe had a specialty. Like Judah was the kings, the Levites was the priests. I think Zebulon was like fishermen or something like that. Issachar, just like today, he deals with agriculture. Benjamin was the soldiers, was the warriors. So we all had we was a self-sustaining unit. So we didn't need their crap. So that's the thinking, because they got us. And you think about it, they got us. All they got to do is cut off that money. All they got to do is close a supermarket. You're done. You're done. They're done. Cut that money off, they're done. All they got to do is close their industries. Their industries. Their way in. And you're done. So our thinking ought to be right now, how to live outside of this construct. How to live without their garbage. Really, this need to be our thinking. Because it's finna get terrible. This country is divided. Democrats, Republicans, it's just divided, period. It's just only a matter of time before this thing fall completely down. It's only a matter of time. And a lot of people are going to be scrambling and trampling over one another when it does. Not the elect, not those that know better. We're going to be in the cuts doing what we need to do. He's gonna give his children knowledge and wisdom, insight, and understanding on what to do in these turbulent times. Because while everybody is tripping on not being able to eat a steak or whatever, now we're gonna be on locusts and honey. And I'm using that as a metaphor, but we're gonna be on the simple things, very simple thing, but we're gonna be sustained while in those simple things. Though we're gonna be sustained, so we're not gonna be worried. 19. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors. Just what I just said. Really didn't realize this was coming up next, but just what I said. Just what I said. They're going to be scrambling. It's like the ones that's building the bunkers, for instance, thinking they're going to get away from the nuclear fallout. The scriptures say the Most High is going to shake the earth terribly. A lot of them going to die underground. They're literally going to be crushed underground. Because they've been told, like the Titanic, this is unsinkable. So they being told by these salesmen, oh, this is foolproof. Anything happen in a nuclear war, it will not be able to penetrate. This is what they being told. This is what they being told. The nuclear weapon is heaven technology. To be able to produce a fire that hot, they say that the fire is almost hotter than the sun. Where did they get this technology? This is fallen angels. This is information that's been taught to them by fallen angels. But it's come from heaven. This is heaven technology. So when the creator of heaven and the earth come down to do his business, how you gonna get away? How can you guard yourself from that? There's no guarding yourself from that. You're gonna be totally exposed. That's why the scriptures say that they're gonna run into the caves, into the rocks, and say, "Fall on us, fall on it," because they're not gonna have no other. They're not gonna have no options. There ain't gonna be no options. 20. As a dream when one awakens. Now it says 19. How are they brought into desolation? That is as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors, as a dream when one awakens. As a dream when one awakens. It say as in a moment. That's also it also goes into what happens when they die. When they die, they think they're going to be, when they die, they're going to think they're dreaming. They're going to think it's a nightmare. They're going to think it's a nightmare. The wicked, they think it's a nightmare. It's not going to be a nightmare. In the extra biblical text, it say 2 angels come gets them and just drags them to the tormentors. So you can't even talk. Scripture say you're not going to be able to even utter an idle word before him. So day of judgment, you're not going to be able to state your plea. You're not going to have to. It's not going to be about no talking, because your life is going to be played back right before your eyes in an instant. Actually, every day that you've lived, every day that we live, an angel goes back and reports on what we did that day. So it's being piled up anyway. So when you go, your transcript is already there when you get there. Your transcript it's already there. So you're not gonna be able to say nothing. It says, as a dream when one awakens, so, O Yasha, when you awake, you shall despise their image. You shall despise their image. Their image is what they hold near and dear to their heart, what they hold to be important, what they hold to be trustworthy and integral. He's just despised. He despises it. It says in the scriptures, what the world think. I'm paraphrasing it. What the world thinks is praiseworthy, the Most High looks at it like it's foolish. And I'm going to wrap it up. Say Jeremiah 12:1-3. And Jeremiah asked the same question as King David. He said, why is it that the way of ungodly men prospers, that all that deal very treacherously are flourishing? So prophets, you had a couple of prophets, we're not the only one. They asked that question because they couldn't figure it out. You get so tired sometimes, you start asking the Most High questions like, man, this is not fair. This is not fair. Why do we're working for you? Why do we got to go through this? Why do we got to go through this? 2, you have planted them and they have taken root. They have begotten children and become fruitful. You are near to their mouth and far from their reigns. So we see that all the time. Well, I like to thank God for this award. If God wasn't with me, so that's what this means. Say, but you, Yasha, know me. You have proved my heart before you. And this is what he says next. Purify them for the day of their slaughter. So basically, they're being groomed. They're being the rich. They're being groomed for. When I think about I heard a brother say today, see, they play checkers. The Most High play chess. They're literally being groomed for torture. They're being groomed for torture. That's why you can't tell them nothing, because they have a reprobate mind. They're being groomed for torture. It says here, Revelation 3:17, because you say, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and know not that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. Cursed. They are cursed. And that's the way we need to start seeing them. That's really the way we need to start seeing them. They are cursed. They're cursed people. This is in Jeremiah. I forgot to put the it's in the book of Jeremiah, but I forgot to put the verse and chapter. Such is not the portion of Yaakov or Jacob, for he that formed all things, he is his inheritance. Yasha is his name. So the Most High, the highest, is our inheritance. He wants us to trust him. He say, for he that formed all things, he is his inheritance. So our inheritance is to trust the Most High to come through. Like when Yasha went out, did things, when he had to pay taxes, he told Peter, go first fish you catch, pull it in, you're going to find money. So pretty much everything we need is laid on our path. Everything we need is going to always be laid on our path. Supernaturally. So all we need to do is trust him. That's all we need to do. Hey, get baptized. Name of Yasha. Come into that fold. Come into this. Join the Pearly Gate gang. Join the Pearly Gate gang. Yeah, you must be dipped in that water. You got to be dipped in that water. Join the Pearly Gate gang. Anybody that say that you don't need to be dipped in that water, they're not abiding by Scripture. Like he told Nicodemus, you must be born of the Spirit. You must be born of the, I'm paraphrasing, but the spirit of water. The spirit of water, flesh of water, something like that. But he did say you had to get into that water. Just read it. I think it's the third chapter of John, when Nicodemus came to him. But he said you must be born of the Spirit and water. So it's right. It's right there in the Scriptures. So everybody don't say you don't need to get in the water. Now, like he says, the children of the world are wiser than the children of light. But even in the world, it's an initiation to join something. Even in the game, you got to be jumped in. Just think about it. Hey, shalom. Y'all have a blessed night. Shalom.